Back to where we were, the Human Rights Campaign, in responding to rescinding the guidance last night, said that this is not a states' rights issue, it's a civil rights issue, and therefore is in the purview of the federal government. Do you disagree that this is a civil rights issue?
It's not. It's a question of where it's appropriately addressed. And I think there's a reason. Like, we've got to remember, this guidance was enjoined last August by a court. It hasn't been enforced. There was no comment period by anyone, by the Human Rights Campaign, by teachers, parents, students. Nobody had any input of this. And it seems to me a little interesting that if this was any other issue, people would be crying foul that the process wasn't followed. The reality is that when you look at Title IX, it was enacted in 1972. The idea that this was even contemplated at that is preposterous on its face. But that doesn't mean that the president obviously understands the issue and the challenges that especially young children face. He just believes that this is a state issue that needs to be addressed by states, as he does with a lot of other issues that we've talked about. And so we are a states' rights party. The president, on a lot of issues, believes in these various issues being states' rights. I don't see why this would be any different. And again, if you go through it, it's not just it's how the guidance was issued, it's the legal basis on which it was ordered. It fell short on a lot of stuff. It wasn't us that did this. It was the court that stepped in and said that they hadn't followed the procedure of the law back in August of last year and enjoined the case.
I understand all that. Just wondering, does the White House disagree with the position that this is a civil right?
Well, I think it's not a question of whether it's a civil right, it's where it's appropriately addressed. And as I noted, it's appropriately addressed at the state level.